Have you ever had the situation where you're wanting to warm up tortillas, pita bread, pancakes in the microwave and they go really soggy? You then take them to the table and they very quickly cool down. So I'm going to show you today how to make a tortilla wrap. You not only can pop this into the microwave, it'll stop all the moisture and stop all that sogginess in your bread products, but it also keeps it warm and looks quite stylish on your table. Now what you'll need is the Vlieseline 277 cotton. The only rule with this particular project is that you must use 100% cotton wadding, 100% cotton thread and 100% cotton fabric. And the reason for that is anything else may have a reaction in your microwave. So you can make your tortilla wrap any size that you want. This particular one is 10 inches. The one I've made as a sample here is 11 inches, but you could also make small ones. Now, how to cut your circles? You could either use a circle cut ruler, alternatively you could use a die machine, or just simply a plate or a compass. It's entirely up to you. On this particular occasion, I have got 2 of the outer fabrics, which are 10-inch circles, and 2 of the lining fabrics, this is just a calico, which are also 10-inch circles. You're also going to need 2 pieces of the Vlieseline 277 cotton wadding, which is big enough for a 10-inch circle. Now it's really important, regardless of how you cut it out, to end up with your circles quartered like this. Lay your cotton wadding on the table in front of you and then place your outer fabric or your lining fabric, it really doesn't matter, on top. Now because this calico doesn't have a right or wrong side, it doesn't matter. However, if you had a fabric that was patterned, you would have the wrong side facing on to the wadding and the right side of the fabric facing you. The outer fabric goes on top, and this time the right side of the fabric is facing downwards, so it means that the right sides of the fabric are right sides together. I know that's a bit of a tongue twister, but it keeps it right. Now this is where these lines are really important, because the first set of stitching we're going to do is just half a circle. And because we've got these quartered lines, I can pop a pin in there, and I know that's the start or the end of one circle. And I'll pop a pin in this other side, and that is the end and start of the other circle. I'm just going to pop a couple of pins in here just to keep it in position. And you might ask, why have I not cut a circle of wadding? And it's just because it's so much easier just to trim it down after you've sewn. Now, even though I'm not sewing this part, I'm just going to pop a pin in just to keep the 3 together. We're now going to take it to the sewing machine and sew this half circle. So I have this sewing machine set up. I have my walking foot on, but you could easily use your utility foot. The thread I'm using is 100% cotton. It's really important that you use a cotton wadding and cotton fabrics, because this product is going to go in the microwave. If you lower your foot so it's on that mark that we had, the crease line or where we've popped the pin, do a stitch forward and then just do a couple of reverse stitches just to strengthen that opening. Now you're very simply just going to sew all the way around this half circle using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. It's not critical, but it's quite nice. It's a good way of trying to practice achieving a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And we're going to sew up to that other side of the halfway point, which I had marked with a pin. When I get up to that point, I'm going to sew right up to it, and then we're going to do another couple of reverse stitches just to keep it in place. I'm now going to take it out of the machine, and I'm going to show you how we're going to trim this down. So now we're going to trim this down, and I use 2 pair of scissors for this job. The part that I have sewn, I'm going to use my pinking scissors, and the part that I haven't sewn, I'm going to use my straight scissors. And the reason for that is I love using pinking scissors because it saves me having to clip into any curves, which you would have to do because this is a circle and you want it to lie nice and flat. So just cut with your pinking scissors quite close to the stitch line, but don't cut through it. We started at the halfway mark with the pink and scissors. And when I get to this other side, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop cutting with those. Now with your straight scissors, we're just going to take off the excess wadding. So at this point, I'm just cutting down the wadding. And I do find it easier using the straight scissors for this. Now I'm going to keep repeating myself because this project is fabulous, but do not be tempted to use anything other than the 100% 277 Vlieseline cotton wadding. Remember to use 100% cotton fabrics, and also your threads, ensure that they're also a cotton thread. So we've trimmed around, and all we'll do now is open up the fabrics and turn it through. And you're going to get a nice rounded edge there. Now I've used a particularly dark fabric with this one, so I just want to make sure that my lining isn't seen. There you are. And at this point, I'm going to give it a nice press. And you can see by using the pink and scissors, you get a nice rounded curve. We don't need those reference marks anymore. And we'll just pop that round like that. Now you're going to do this for both pieces, so you'll end up having two circles that look like this. What we're going to do now is pop your circle, one of the circles with the right side facing you, and then the other circle with the right sides together, so the wrong side is facing you. And what we're going to do is we're going to match up those open edges, and this is where you'll need a few pins. Now because we know that we sewed half and half, we can just match that up there. Just make sure I get it right. I'll just turn that round a bit. So I'm happy. Pop that one in there. Pop this one over here. You could use quilt clips if you wanted to. Now we're not going to be sewing around this edge. We're going to be sewing around this open edge. So all we need to do is to make sure that these are kept together. So as I say, you can either use pins, clips, or a combination. Once you're happy with your pinning, we're going to take it back to the sewing machine and we're going to sew this edge closed. So what we've done is we've popped it into the sewing machine. I'm going to start where that open edge is. I'm using the same stitch length as before. And again, I'm going to sew a couple of stitches forward and then do a couple of stitches in reverse. And that just strengthens that again. And then quite simply sew around the circle, removing the clips or the pins as you go. Just take your time doing this. And remember what I said, 100% cotton thread fabric, and don't forget to use the Vlieseline 277 wadding. If you want more information about the Vlieseline 277 wadding, then check out the video and it will give you a lot of more detail. So when I come to the end of the raw edges, just sew up to that point with that pin, do a couple of reverse stitches, and then we're going to remove it from the sewing machine. And I'll show you the final stages of trimming this down. So we've finished the stitching. Get the pink and scissors again, just neatens those edges. Now this is, because the 277 is washable up to 30 degrees, you can use these tortilla wraps and then just pop them into the washing machine. So I've just taken off that excess fabric there. The pink scissors is doubling up the job, so I don't have to clip into any seams. Get rid of any threads. And then there's the reveal time. Pop it through. Put your hand in. And there you are. You have your perfect. Give it a little press. You've got your tortilla wrap ready for your tortillas to pop in. No more soggy tortillas. As you can see, Vlieseline has a wide range of products, each with different properties and benefits for your projects. You can view the whole range on the Vlieseline website, where you can download the brochure, which has detailed information on all of the products across our 4 categories. You can also join the conversation with us on our Facebook page, Creative Community Group and Instagram. All of the details are below.